Everyone, it's T. Thank you for tuning in for the channel. If you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. This is Crumpets Tea and Sewing. I also go by that handle over on Instagram, and I have a blog called crumpetsteaandsewing.com. Please check me out. I'll put all that information in the description box below. All right, in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you a pattern review of two garments that I just recently made with the Blank Slate Patterns VT by Melly Sews. This pattern has been out for a very long time. I think it came out in 2014, so it's a little older, but it is a free PDF pattern. And so for those of you who have been following me and following along with my capsule wardrobe that I am creating with free PDF patterns, this is one of the patterns that I selected off of my ultimate PDF patterns list. This is a list that I created last month or the beginning of this month, and I'll put the link to that in the description boxes below as well if you are interested in creating a capsule wardrobe with free PDF patterns. So I'll put the link to that below as well. So this tee is it's an easy make. However, there are a few things that I want to make note in this video for those of you who are thinking about sewing free PDF t-shirt patterns. So I definitely want to give like a full review of it, my experience of it, and I'll pop some pictures in here as well so that you can see what the tee turned out to look like. So first of all, I want to say, first and foremost, that this tee is a one size pattern. I made sure that I did a mock-up for this since it is a one size, and I will tell you what I have found during this mock-up phase is that this pattern was definitely drafted for someone of a B cup, and also around the, I would say maybe the 34 to 36 range. The waist is approximately 30 to 32. And if I had to take a guess at the hips, I did not measure the hip area, but I would say it's about a 40, maybe 42 for the hips. So you do have a little bit of room, more room in the hips than you do in the bust and the waist area. But those were not my biggest concerns. My biggest concern with the pattern was with the arm side and the sleeve pattern. This pattern seems to be drafted for someone who has a narrow shoulder and a narrow back. It almost feels like it's a custom made pattern instead of a standard pattern for a size small or medium. And so that was a little bit concerning to me as well, because when I went to do adjustments for the arms and for the shoulders, they did not turn out like my regular adjustments. And so I was a little bit put off by that as well. But with having all that said, with some minor tweaks to the pattern, I was able to get the pattern to fit to my style and to my liking. So the very first garment that I made, I graded the pattern up by 1.5 inches at the sides, as well as the armhole, the lower armhole area, and then also to the sleeve. And I just used a standard commercial size sizing for that when I graded up the pattern. That first garment seems to fit okay on me if I wanted to have a more close fitting silhouette, almost like form fitting with hardly any room there. And since I was working with a rayon cotton blend, I knew that over time that the fabric would shrink, and so I wanted a little bit more extra room in the garment. And so I didn't really want anything that was too form fitting. So that first garment that you see my daughter wearing, it turned out very well, and she can fit it quite well as well. And so I went ahead and gifted that one to her. It looks so much better on her than it does on me, especially in the arm area. And like I said, the arm seemed to have a little bit of a like a narrow shoulder type thing going on. It just looks very awkward on me, but it looks wonderful on my daughter because her arm area and also her high bust area is smaller than mine. And so it looks more pleasing on her. The second garment that I made is what you see me wearing here in the video, and I'll also pop some pictures in here so you can see it as well. Now this one is where I did the major alterations here. I did an FBA on this one. So I did, I think it was a 1/2 inch FBA. I also lengthened the garment in the torso area. So I lengthened it by 1 inch. And I also did, I graded the pattern up 1.5 inches as well. And so grading that up 1.5 inches, that was about 3 sizes up if I were to grade this based on, you know, commercial sizing. And so it basically went from a small to a large or an XL pattern. It fits better on me. You can't really see that it's been drastically graded up that much, but it does fit better on me. It's looser. I have more room up in the breast area without having any pulling on the side of the arm. And that's what I was finding with that first garment, is that I had a little bit of horizontal pulling here. But after I made those adjustments, I made the FBA and I lengthened the pattern a little bit. I also did a forward shoulder adjustment to it, and it turned out a little bit better. Now, with that said, will I recommend this pattern? I would recommend this pattern for the size that it was drafted for and for someone with narrow shoulders. I would not recommend this pattern for people who have a broad back or broad shoulders, such as myself, or someone who has a larger biceps, because the sleeve pattern was drafted for someone who has a 12-inch bicep. And I have a 15-inch bicep. And so I definitely would have to, you know, make adjustments to the sleeve pattern, obviously. So again, it's a really great pattern for those of you who can fit a small, but for those of us who are in the medium, large, extra large and up, this is not a good pattern unless you are planning on using this to do some major adjustments to the pattern. Melly Sews, she's the creator of this pattern, has a tutorial on this particular pattern on her YouTube channel, and I'll make sure that I put that in the description box below as well. And I'll put the link to her blog, which is mellysews.com, where you can actually download a copy of this free PDF pattern. It comes with instructions. The instructions are very clear and readable. They're great instructions, but if you follow the YouTube video, they're excellent instructions as well. She highlights how to put on the V-neck band. If you are someone who has never done a V-neck band, that might be a little bit, and I wouldn't say it's complicated, but it is something that is new to those of you who probably have never sewn on a V-neck band before. That's a great tutorial to be able to go to as a resource. The fabric that I chose for this project is from Joann Fabrics, and you all know me. I usually get anything that I purchase from Joann's is mostly from the remnant section, and I usually just use those knits as testers or whatever to kind of get a feel as to what I want my finished garment to look like. And so that's where the fabric came from. And this, the first fabric that I use for the black and white knit, it is a rayon knit, very drapey. It's somewhat lightweight, not completely transparent, but if you do hold the fabric up to your face, you can see through it, but it's not so transparent that you can actually see like your undergarments, which is really nice. This one that I'm wearing is a black it's a black knit, so a black background with multi-color flowers throughout the pattern, and it's just a wonderful. I love the print. I love the print. When I purchased this particular piece, I actually purchased like 3 yards of it, and so I have quite a bit more, and I want to make like a wrap top with this particular fabric as well. I think this is just a gorgeous fabric, and that's why I went ahead and purchased so much of it, because I wanted to get multiple garments out of it. So that's my review of the VT by Melly Sews. And like I said, it's a really decent pattern for someone who is small and somewhat petite. But for those of us who have a larger cup size, I would not recommend this pattern to. I am going to continue to try to find those patterns that fit my lifestyle and also my style. And I will continue to review those patterns. This week I have a couple of other reviews that I want to share with you all that are from free PDF patterns as well. And so you'll get an idea of some of the other things that I've been sewing throughout the month as I'm continuing to sew this capsule wardrobe. It is taking a little bit more time than I thought it would, but I think that it will be well worth it. So hang in there with me. Continue to follow me as I am sewing these different makes to create my free mini capsule wardrobe, my mini capsule wardrobe with free PDF patterns. And if you have any questions about the patterns that I'm using or anything like that, please make sure that you shoot me a message in the comment section below. I hope to talk to you all soon, and I can't wait until this wardrobe is finished so I can share with you all the different pictures and things that I have been making. All right, until next time, everyone. Bye.